This week on No Cell Service, our hosts cover the slasher film, Hellfest. This content is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
So, I suggested this movie. I remember really liking it when it first came out, but I do have a soft spot in my heart for Bex Taylor-Klaus, who plays Taylor. They played Audrey in Scream, the TV show.
Oh, I didn't watch the TV show.
Oh, okay. So that's where I know them from, is the Scream TV show, which I did really enjoy. They were in Glee, iZombie. Did you watch the Voltron animated series?
No.
Okay. Also the voice actor in that. Yep. That's what I got to offer you.
Well, that's fine.
Or Discarnate?
I felt like I had seen them in something or like seen them around. I just, never like really watched any of that stuff, so.
The Last Witch Hunter?
Nope.
Dumpling, Blackbird?
Nope.
The Killing? Oh, it was in Arrow, the TV show.
Oh, you know what? I watched
As Cindy/Sin?
I watched the first season of that, I think.
House of Lies?
Nope.
13 Reasons Why?
No, actually, I avoided that one because, everyone told me to.
Yep, no, that's all I really got. I know them from Scream, and then being the voice actor of Pidge, who is my favorite character in Voltron.
Okay. Oh, good stuff.
I think they're fantastic.
Yeah. No, I think they did a great job. I love their character. Well, okay, yeah. So, before we get too ahead of ourselves, Hellfest. First of all, I wish we had a festival like this.
Yes.
To a certain extent. There are some things that we'll discuss that the park does later that I'm like, y'all are just fucking asking for it.
So they did, I believe they named it after a real festival or modeled it after a real festival that travels.
Okay.
They do film it at a Six Flags. So a fun little tidbit is they didn't film it in the Six Flags amusement park, but they filmed it in the Six Flags water park that was closed for winter. Oh. And so the map they get in the movie is a real map that they just edited for their attractions.
That's so funny.
Which I thought was just a fun little tidbit. It was also, they tried very, very hard they either used no CGI or very little CGI. All of the deaths are practical.
I could kind of see that. Yeah, it didn't look like they were messing with those kind of effects really at all.
No.
One of them too. I got one of the deaths. Well,
I have a guess of which two you're talking about.
Yeah, well,
I do. So we have a kind of similar thing where we live of a attraction sort of thing. The 5 haunted houses in a corn maze is the closest we get here. It's nothing to you have rides and you have the Deadlands and you have all this kind of stuff. It's definitely more mellow what we have. I do wish we had a bigger event, but yes, you're correct. I don't know if I could go here.
No.
Before we get too much into it, but I'm just prefacing that, especially with the Deadlands and people being able to touch you.
Yeah, we'll get into that stuff.
Not happening.
Yeah, ugh, no fun. But, I mean, like any other horror movie, or typical of this ilk, it's, we have, a very typical, we start on a very typical, festival, I couldn't remember what it was called, but it was
It was just a county fair Halloween festival. It was Orange County Halloween Fest or something.
It
was
a crazy anything like that, just a small town festival. My memory's a little choppy on the beginning, but...
Oh, they just kind of... you follow a group of friends that go through I think they go through a maze, or going through a haunted house, and...
I know what happens in the beginning, but for some reason my brain's just not... It's
a group of, I think, 3 or 4 girls, and they're going through a little bit of a haunted house / maze thing, and one of them gets lost, or she gets left behind, and a random guy in a mask stabs her and drags her off, and you're like, oh no, and that's it. Yep. You kind of just get a first kill on this. You get the name drop and then the first kill, and it comes back in 10 minutes when we meet our actual people we'll be following. We pull up to a creepy apartment complex, and it's not even really an apartment complex. It's one of those small town apartments where it's one building and there are 6 apartments.
Yeah.
only cheap enough that college students are definitely renting it. It is creepy. It is dilapidated almost, but you go in and it's college style where they're tapestries all over the wall and everything looks good. And we meet Brooke and Nat. So Nat is coming to visit Brooke for this Halloween thing. Yeah. You get right off the bat, no one expected her to come. Apparently she might be a little flaky or a little bit of a recluse. She doesn't come. She's from, I think she goes to college in a different town or something like that. They don't delve too much into that, but Natalie and Brooke have been childhood best friends. They have the matching heart necklaces, they're best friends. And Brooke's roommate is Taylor, played by Bex, who we just mentioned, who Nat does not like. Yeah. They don't get along very well. And then you meet Quinn.
Yes.
Quinn, who is Brooke's boyfriend, and you kind of get the lay of what's going to happen tonight. They got VIP tickets to Hellfest by Gavin, and you're just kind of getting name drops here and there for everyone that's going to be here tonight.
It's just a lot of establishing characters, pretty typical, all these college students. Oh, look, they have parasocial relationships within, they're okay, cool. They gotta establish all that stuff.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what we get for the first, 10, 15 minutes of just getting some background on everybody. Gavin is the one who got them the VIP tickets. He is the person they're trying to get Nat and Gavin to get together because
they had a thing the year before,
they hung out a little bit, had a little bit of flirty vibes, but nothing past that. Yeah. And when Gavin heard she was coming back to town, he was all up on it. Yeah. And so just establishing that kind of stuff, and then as they get to Hellfest, Quinn and Taylor talk about the murder that happened at the beginning, how it was a few years ago. Some guy just murked a girl at a Halloween festival, and now they're at a Halloween festival, so you better be on your guard. And then we meet up with Asher, who's going to be the last of our main 6, who is Taylor's boyfriend. Yep. And their dynamic, all 6 of their dynamic is fantastic. Mm-hmm. Apparently when casting, they cast it off of chemistry only.
Oh, I love that.
And they had, I think they said 3 weeks at the park, or a week and a half, a set time at the park before they started filming, where they got to just all hang out and build that chemistry. Nice. And a lot of what the director wanted was to be that's you and your friend group. He wanted the chemistry. He wanted the crazy college thing. He's this is what I want. Go for it. Have fun. I want you guys having fun. Yeah. And so on top of that, he also was I didn't always tell them exactly what was going to happen. And so as they're walking through the park, some of them get jump scared by someone in a costume. And I wonder how much of that was actually scripted and how much of that he was just go scare him now. Yeah. And
no, because there is they do walk around the park a lot, and there's a lot of the park actors chasing after people or jump scaring people, and they do it to the
core 6 people.
Yeah, so it is cool because I do think a lot of it was they unexpected from them, because you do see a lot of genuine reaction.
Because you see them get scared and the rest of the group just laughing their ass off. Yeah. Just they saw it coming because they were watching the actor come up. I think the dynamic was really good. I know a lot of people hate on this movie a lot, and we'll get to some of it a little later on.
I did not mention this when we first started, but I don't think this is a good movie.
Oh, I never said it was a good movie.
I think it's a bad movie. I enjoyed it, but it sucked.
It's not, unlike some other movies we have already done and movies we have talked about off the podcast, it is not a thought-provoking, in-depth, this is a very surface level, you're in here to have fun. What was the last movie? Uncanny Annie. It's a lot like Uncanny Annie, where you're just going in and you're vibing with whatever the hell is happening. I think
even then, Uncanny Annie was a bit more fun about it.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it more once we get into more of the actual shit starts happening. But
it has been called the Kroger Hunt, which is another horror movie like this that apparently is much better, along with Bloodfest. Both of those movies have been called the better version of this movie.
Interesting.
So I do want to watch those. Whether or not we cover those on the podcast, maybe we'll mention it in passing if we watch them. And comparative to this one. I just think this is a fun movie.
I had a lot of fun watching it. It's like, because you do get to, like, it's really entertaining. You're sitting there just like watching a bunch of young adults go through a scary amusement park, which is like, there's nothing not fun about that, you know? Like, just watching people get scared like that. Like, you know?
It is a very predictable movie.
Yes.
I think it's very predictable on when things happen. It's also, there's some pretty big plot holes that would not happen at a festival of this size.
Yeah.
And I will already address, I tried to look into whether or not these haunted houses have live security feeds. I could not find that. I went onto like the Reddit, like, haunting, like all that kind of stuff, trying to figure out, because someone was saying like this wouldn't happen because there's security footage in there. I did see that some of the attractions have live feeds, so the actors know when to go out and jump scare.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't tell me whether or not there were actual live, like, recording security cameras within the haunted houses or not.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. Like, you'd think, but also...
It's a traveling attraction. How much can they actually do? For
a traveling attraction, how do you set up, like, an extensive security grid on your grounds? I mean, like... I know nowadays it's easy because you set up fucking wireless cameras and shit in every corner of whatever, but like...
This was in 2018.
That also costs a lot of fucking money, and this amusement park, like Hellfest itself, looks insane.
Yeah.
I just sat there thinking, like, how the fuck is this a traveling attraction?
Yeah.
How do you move these things around?
Yes.
Because, like, and I don't want to say anything right now, but, like, one of the, like, haunted mazes that the boys actually go through later, I'm like... You fucking take this with you, like, on the road? Like...
It's insane. Like, if this was a, like, IRL attraction, like, kudos to the prop people in charge of setting things up.
No,
because it is very insane. They did have real prop people from, I forgot to write it down, from, like, a Universal haunt or, like, one, that, like, a really big company.
They like were actual amusement haunt.
Yeah, they were able to use a bunch of their costumes and, like, get design help and those kinds of things. But I think it was from, like, Universal or Hollywood, one that is, like, standard, stays in place, doesn't travel. So there's that.
That also makes sense because, like, a lot of the costumes and stuff that you saw, like, a lot of the props in the movie...
They're really good. It was
all, like, legit stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just, like, these cheaply made, like, spooky costumes. Like, you saw people that, like, I don't know, when you're watching these characters go through some of these mazes, and then they have, like, the actors set up, like, oh gosh, there was the dude that's, like, dressed up in the, like, the doctor's outfit.
Yeah.
And all that, and, like, the ladies walk in on him. This is a little bit later, but... As far as all the mazes go, we're just going to be talking about them walking through these scary mazes.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
It doesn't matter when they do it, really. Like, we'll talk about the major stuff that happens.
Yes, but yeah, they have, like, each maze obviously has its own theme, and before they go to the mazes, they obviously have to go get shots that are in syringe shots because it's Halloween. Mm-hmm. There is some classic peer pressuring of Natalie to get her to go into the deform school. Which is the second scariest haunted house they have on site. Mm-hmm. And they have to go through the Deadlands, which is where the actors can actually touch you, and you have to get through the Deadlands to get to the actually most haunted house on the set, which is called Hell.
Yeah.
So the main attractions we're going to see them go through are the deform school, there's the nightmare room, which is the one where you get to choose your own. They're like the 3 doors. Yeah. The Deadlands, Hell, and there's one more. And we'll get to it, but there's one more that they go through. And every haunted house they go through is very nice. It's not like, we talked about this with Hell House LLC, where it's like they use the cheesy props to their advantage and the found footage ones, and this one is not like very cheesy props. Like, you see some cheesy props, and it actually comes up in the movie that some of the props are real. Yeah. Like, and what the fuck? For liability reasons, none of those props will be real, especially in a traveling one, which is like one of the first plot holes we see.
100%. Because, like, so the killer that we see in the beginning...
we kind of skipped over him, yes.
We see him enter the park. He gets, like... metal detected and all that.
And he's got steel-toed boots on.
He's got steel-toed boots. You know, he comes in and he walks past like a drink station or like a...
So this is...
Or something.
This is where my deep dive into knives happened. So he walks in, he is dressed just in a hoodie, nothing weird besides the steel-toed boots, but I know a lot of guys who just walk around in their steel-toed boots, nothing super big. He has a mask hidden on him that he puts on, and he walks, or like bumps into this girl in a striped shirt, and I just call her striped shirt throughout all of this, and she like gets up in his face and is like, think you're funny? Like, think you're scaring me? Well, you're not. Like, get the fuck out of my way. And can I tell you, I hate those people at haunted attractions where they're like, you're not even fucking funny. Like, these people are getting paid minimum wage. Just, like, have some fun with it. Like, that's like the equivalent of yelling at a McDonald's worker. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like, this is their job. Relax.
Yeah, she just did not seem like she was having a good time, and I would hate to be her friends. But, so we kind of get shots of, like, him just kind of walking around, and I love the slow-mo they do, though. Anytime we see him, everything goes into slow-mo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's, like, intense fog behind him. And then, like, just slow motion.
And so how he gets his weapon that he starts with is he walks by a shaved ice cart. And, like, this does not make any sense. The only time you would have a cart is for, like, cotton candy. Because it's easy. Yeah. But, like, at a traveling attraction, like, even think of our county fairs. They do not have open food processing areas. One, because liability. Yeah. Two, food handling. Like, everyone could just reach over and touch that shit. Yeah. And then 3, stealing your things. Yeah. Right? And so homie walks over, this guy is shaving ice for someone. Oh, I also forgot to mention, like, you have to make so much shaved ice. You're not doing that by hand. Homie is shaving ice by hand, and I watched...
Taking a knife, just... Like, I'm sorry. We have technology.
We have technology, and I delved into the knife. Because the knife he grabs, the closest thing I can compare it to is this. Which is a tomato cutting knife.
I mean,
y'all
honestly,
just look up a tomato knife, and that's almost exactly what he has.
No joke, though. So for anyone who isn't gonna look this up, it's literally just like, you've seen it. It's a knife with like a serrated edge, but then on the tip of it, it's 2 prongs. Yeah. So it's kind of like you've maybe seen them in like a steakhouse, but like they're tomato knives. And
the serrated edge is very like shallow. It's not very like, it's not bread knife serrated. Yeah. They're very shallow serrades. Yeah. But I delved into this, and I watched videos of a Japanese bar where he shaves and cuts the ice. It's called the Stay Bar. Highly recommend if you're in ASMR watching his videos. Fucking fantastic.
Hell yeah.
He has a flat knife. No serrades, nothing. He uses an ice pick or that to shave the ice down. I watched other videos. No one in their right mind uses a serrated knife.
An actual knife?
No, they use real knives. They don't use serrated knives to cut the ice. Like, he has an ice pick he uses, and a very, very nice, like, I would love this knife in my kitchen to shave the ice into perfect little, like, cubes and everything he does. He would not be shaving ice by hand, and would not be using this knife. And this might be my, like, weird thing that I have issues with is knives. But that is the wrong knife, and it's not even a real knife. Like, Prop Master, what the fuck were you doing?
I also have the one issue that I also have with this, because again, the murderer just like picks up the knife and just like walks off with it. If you were in a festival like this and like a knife just disappeared off of your table, wouldn't you be like, someone I think stole my knife and might be like planning to use it? Like,
so the only reason I can see that not happening is because then you're at fault. And like, again, we just talked about how this is probably a minimum wage worker here who's probably like, I'm not touching that with a 10 feet pole. I don't know, I'm gonna grab another one and not mention it ever again.
That stresses me the fuck out. But also, that is just like how the world works, and I hate that.
But it would, like, think of the size. This festival is huge. There are so many people here. There's a crowd of people. Like,
yeah, wouldn't you, like, let a security officer know, like, hey, someone might have a knife?
Did you... Okay, but we see the security officers later in the movie, and I hate them.
I do too.
And I get where they're coming from, and we'll talk about this when we get to it. I get where he's coming from, but also, fuck you, dude.
Oh,
like,
God. Oh, I know. Yeah, we'll get there. But, like, I just think, I don't know. You could just...
Tell your boss and get fired? Tell security and then get in trouble? Like, this kid was probably, like, 19, 20. He was young. There's no way. And if I was in his position and a knife went missing, I'd be like, well, that's going to be on my conscience forever, but we're going to hope nothing bad happens.
See, that is my thing. Is it would be on my conscience forever. And, like, 50 years from now, I'd be like, dude, I probably am the reason that person died that night. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but as we get into the movie, like, as we already said, some of these props are real. Homie doesn't just only use a knife. That's his first weapon he uses, and he does grab more from the houses themselves. And I don't know if any of y'all have gone to a haunted house. If you're listening to this, you probably have. There is no way. The closest thing they get is the chainsaws without the actual blades on them.
Yeah, and it's literally just the fucking motor to make the noise. Well...
The chainsaws without the blades. I meant the chain, obviously. I'm an idiot.
No, the blades are on the chain. So
right,
like,
but it's not like a grinding saw where you have to put the blade on.
No, it's fine.
Oh, you know what I meant.
Yeah. So he gets his knife and...
He stalks this girl around.
He stalks
striped shirt
girl. And Natalie and Brooke and Taylor, they go into the deformed school.
So all 6 of them do, and they split off into the couples first.
Yes, that's right.
And go into the deformed school, which is a zombie school. Nat does not like scary things, and you get that right off the bat. And so while she's walking around with Gavin, Gavin's like, hey, like, that you see, like, mannequins and stuff. And he's like, look at their hands, because a human can't stay in perfectly still. So you'll see which one is an actual person and which one are mannequins, and maybe that'll make you less scared. And so he's, like, helping her through the maze, being, like, he's actually a pretty good dude.
I like Gavin.
I don't have any issues with Gavin.
Gavin's a good dude.
He's just, like, he's trying to impress this chick he kind of knows, and their awkward chemistry is so good.
I do really like their chemistry, because, like, he's, like, kind of shy, but also, like...
He's, like, respective of her boundaries, but, like, trying to, like... not make the first move, but be like, I'm interested in you, and, like, we'll take this at your pace.
Putting in the effort,
yes,
but not in a disrespectful way.
Yeah, and she's also really awkward, and I've definitely been on dates like that, where it's just like, you like each other, but it's so awkward, and you don't know how to, like, kind of get over the awkwardness to continue the date without it being awkward.
Yep.
But he's doing a really good job. He's also our first kill, which sucks, but, like, you love Gavin as it's happening.
No, we love Gavin.
And so he kind of, like, helps her through the maze. After this, we kind of just get, like, really fun shots of the group running through this maze. And I think this is definitely one of those scenes, or, like, this whole chunk is a scene where the director didn't tell them exactly where all the scares were, and was just like, go have fun. I have this movie on DVD, so I was able to watch, like, the whole special features and, like, interviews with the cast and everything.
Yeah.
And they do talk about this, and, like, the director talks about it as well, but, like, this whole scene is very fun. It's literally just a bunch of kids running through a maze at different points and getting scared and, like, piggybacking and, like, doing all of the fun stuff you want to do in a maze. And we get...
It's a lot of fun. You kind of, like, get jealous of these kids.
Yeah, they're having so much
You're like,
fun.
oh my god.
And then at the end of the maze, Asher and Quinn literally pick up Gavin and run in the opposite direction, leaving the girls in the maze.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes, like, the 3 girls are by themselves.
Yeah.
And they go the opposite direction of which the boys went. And Nat is imparting her wisdom of, like, oh, I think I have the timing figured out. And she's, like, pointing out all of the scares as they turn corners. And then she's like, they get into a classroom and she's like, and someone's going to come out of that door. And nothing happens. And they're like, yeah, Nat, you really got this figured out. And, like, you know, just razzing her and whatever. And then striped shirt chick comes through a different door. And they're like, oh, your timing was just off. Like, there it is.
Yeah.
And she's, like, screaming, help me. Like, he's chasing me. And they think it's part of the attraction.
Yeah, they're like, damn, like, this shit's crazy. And, like, you literally see the murderer, like, walk in behind and, like, follow in the footsteps of Striped Lady, because she ended up, like, dipping through the other side of the room. And, again, the ladies are just standing there like, oh, man, this is scary.
And then they, like, point to where the girl hid, and they're like, you missed your mark, man. Like, your girl's there, like, whatever. And he's, like, staring at them with the creepy mask, and the mask is modeled after death masks. And do you know what those are?
Sounds familiar. I mean, the face reminds me of, like old, almost like, not indigenous people, but, you know how, like, older tribes would, like, you know, like preserve people in mud almost, or, like...
So, that's what a death mask is. So, a death mask is the way... They used to, like, use paper mache and, like, mold people's faces. And, like, it was kind of how you preserved them. And so they modeled this after, like, a really crude death mask.
It's good. It's a good mask.
It's a very, very creepy mask. And so he, like... You also never see the killer's face throughout this entire... You never unmask him. You never know who he is.
Nope.
And so it's like, we'll say him or the killer or whatever, because we don't know who... They don't even give him a name. It's just the killer. They kind of, like, direct him and are like, oh, you're off mark and blah, blah, blah. And the other girls are like... well, that's that. And Brooke and Taylor leave, and Nat is waiting, watching, and, like, he drags Stripe's shirt out and is, like, about to stab her, and is, like, making direct eye contact with Nat. And she's like, just fucking do it, dude.
Yeah, Nat's like, just fucking do it, man. Like,
and then
whatever.
stabs her, and she, like, goes limp and is, like, bleeding out. And Nat's, like, having this, like, existential crisis of, oh my god, was that real?
Yeah,
and
she was, like, struggled with it, because obviously, like, when you watch something like that, even if it's fake, if it's so well, like, it's well done, like,
it's gonna get you. Mm-hmm. And she, as we've prefaced before as well, is she's not into this.
Yeah.
And so, like, she's having a hard time. Her adrenaline has been running this entire time. We're, like, 30 minutes into the movie, and she's just high adrenaline the entire time. And so she goes outside, and then she watches an actor come up and stab a random person and, like, hunch over and, like, act dead. And then, like, the actor runs away, and she's like, oh, they just get up afterwards.
Yeah.
And she didn't see Striped Shirt get up, so she's kind of, like, it seems like she's rationalizing with herself, like,
she's
that's
reeling,
fine.
Yeah, she's kind of reeling a little bit, like, in her mind as, before Brooke and Taylor kind of snap her out of it.
Well, and then she makes eye contact. The killer walks out of the maze and, like, makes eye contact with her and does, like, the whole shh over his lips thing.
Yeah.
And so he then...
She's a little nervous at this point.
Very.
Respectably so. Like, honestly, I'd be like, you know what? I think that's where, like, I know this is a scary theme park, but I think that's where I'm done. And I'm going home.
Yes. And so from this point forward, Taylor and Nat start bonding a little bit and, like, start telling, like, embarrassing stories about Brooke. And she's like, what the hell, man? Like, I thought you guys were my friends. And you kind of get, like, a better dynamic, and, like, everyone kind of, not a better dynamic, but, like, when you, like, bond over something really fast with someone, like, adrenaline situation, a haunted house situation is a very good way to bond with someone. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like a safe trauma bond. Yeah. Where you're, like, going through something scary with someone, and you kind of get to, like, release that tension and kind of just, like, connect a little bit. And so you see that with Taylor and Nat.
It's like becoming vulnerable, or, like, being vulnerable in a state like that with someone else, like, puts you on that same level in a way that, like, allows you to, like, your brain to be like, oh no, this person and I are, like, similar. Yeah, and that allows you to, like, connect easier. Yeah,
like, it's you guys against the world, and kind of gives you a really good dynamic. And so the killer starts stalking them. Yeah. And Nat is on edge about it. And all of the rest of the crew are really big into the horror scene. They're very much happy to be here. And they're like, he's just a paid actor. Like, you showed fear. Obviously, he's going to stalk you. And if you guys have been to a haunted house attraction with actors who can free roam, it happens. We went last year, and my wife got targeted hard. She screamed, and the same actor followed her for, like, 3 houses and found her everywhere we went.
Yeah, because they will hunt you down. So they know that they can get you,
Oh, yeah. And, like, one tried to go after me, and I just went like this, and I pointed to my wife, and, like...
Oh, my God. Cool. Does she know about that?
No, I never told her.
You better make sure she doesn't listen to this episode.
No, she does listen. It sucks. She's gonna find out. I love you so much, dear.
Oh, God. That's so funny.
Yeah. It was good. And so, yeah, she got marked, and, well, we obviously know it wasn't a true mark, but she got marked, is what her friends tell her, and they're, like, navigating through everything. They move from a haunted attraction to get some food, and, like, they split up into couples again to play the games, and you see, like, the shooting games, and you just kind of get a fun montage again of being at a carnival.
Yeah, they play some rap music, and...
Do they?
Well, I think maybe it wasn't rap. I think it was, like, hip hop. They play, like, hip hop music, and it's like a hip hop montage of them all kicking ass at games.
Except Gavin.
Gavin
sucks so bad. Like, Quinn wins a thing for Brooke. Taylor wins her own toy, a shooting thing, and then, like, we just see Gavin trying his best to win anything, and he's just like, one of the attendants is like, dude, this is sad to watch. Like, it's just so bad.
Sounds like me at fucking round 1.
Hey, you did good. You won stuff. You won, like, a few things, didn't you?
Yeah, that's fair. Actually, so when my wife and I went back recently, we just did, like, a little date night, just her and I, and I won her all the stuff she wanted that day, so my losing streak is over. I'm just saying, I've been in Gavin's shoes, and, like,
trying to be impressive.
When you're trying to impress a girl at the end of all that, I mean, I just fucking give up at that point.
He spends,
like, you know what? Fuck it.
he spends so much money, and it got to a point where Nat was like, just stop. It's okay. Like, please don't spend any more money. It's fine. We're gonna move on. So they end up, like, meeting back up with everyone, or, like, splitting. They meet up and split off a lot. Again, just your classic friendship dynamic where you, like, see someone, you meet up with them for a second, and you run off, and you kind of just get, again, more chemistry and just relationship dynamics between everyone. They are still really awkward at this point. Nat and Gavin are very, very awkward. They're breaking that tension a little bit because you have something else to focus on, but like we said, he sucks at getting games, and she's like, just stop. So they get a pretzel, and they're like talking about the pretzel, and he's like, he makes a joke about like, I'm really good at giving someone money and getting something.
Yeah.
So they go over to the photo booth, and like, she's like trying to do all these poses, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, what? And she's like, no, you're supposed to stick your nose on my tongue. And he's like, why would I know that? And then, like, they start making out in the photo booth.
Yeah, they start macking it in the photo booth. Meanwhile, you see the fucking murderer walk up to the photo booth and literally, like, just fucking yank the photos out of it and, like, look at them and then walk away. And Brooke sees this, and she's like, what the fuck, dude? And starts, like, going after him. Which, balls on her, because I'd be like, that guy has got some fucking issues. We should leave.
No, Brooke is definitely the chick you want in your corner. She will fuck someone up for you. And then, like, Taylor is also, they say earlier, they're like, if he gets close to you, like, we'll fuck him up for you. Like, don't worry. And so Brooke's a girl of her word and books it, chases after him, trying to find where where the killer is with the photo booth strips. And everyone is like, Brooke, what are you doing? And, like, she gets to these places too easily. So she gets behind the sets. There's no cord off. There's no attendant there. There's no one. She's just able to go behind the sets, which is, like, again, a liability issue. This whole park would be shut down by OSHA. Like, lawsuits left and right by how easy they are to get around. And so she, like, gets behind the set, and he's, like, down the ways. They, like, make weird eye contact or something.
I think, yeah.
It's a weird situation.
It is,
She gets creeped out by it and, like, backs off and is like, all right, I'm done. And, like, leaves. And then she gets spooked because Quinn actually did follow her. Yeah. And he's like, where'd he go? And she's like, no, I took care of it. Like, yeah. She's just, like, you know, posing up, just dancing up, being like, I took care of it. What are you talking about? Like, obviously, I did it. He's gone.
I think even Quinn says it. He's like, you got some fucking lady balls on you.
He says something like that.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Yeah, I get it. It goes back to Nat and Gavin, right? Because, well, they're all talking about meeting up for the line to, like, take the ride into the Deadlands.
Yeah, so there is a not a roller coaster, it's a ride into the Deadlands that you have to, that's the only way to get into the Deadlands.
It's like the Haunted Mansion, but
yes, it's like
to get into the Deadlands.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's kind of has, like, some bumps and shakes and turns and stuff, but it's not really a roller coaster, and it's a 2-seater all the way.
It's like a little track, pulls you along, and things pop out and jump scare you.
And so they're about to get in line, and Gavin's like, I gotta go do something.
He's like, hold on, I'll be right back. Like, I'll meet you.
And him and Nat have this back and forth, and he had told the boys already he wanted to go win her something. Yeah. And so the boys are like, no, it's fine. Like, trying to be good wing boys over here. Yeah. And so they drag Nat to line, and I think Brooke is like, he's pooping. Don't worry about it. She's like, obviously he's pooping and didn't want to tell you. Yeah. And so they all are waiting. It is a long-ass line. And
it is a long-ass line.
The whole time, Taylor has been, like, showing her wristband, being like, we're VIPs, like, get us to the front, blah, blah, blah. And then her boyfriend is finally like, girl, this is the VIP lane. Like, chill out. And so they're in line. You cut to Gavin, who finds the attendant of the ring toss.
He goes up to the guy at the ring toss, and he's like, dude, I paid, like, $50 to play these games. Like, can you just, like, pass me one of those? And the guy just, like, stares at him for a second, and he's like, no, I can't.
I'm not losing my job over this.
He smiles and is like, I ain't gonna lose my job. And Gavin's just like...
He offers to pay him more money, too.
He's like, fucking alright, I guess. And just kind of like, he'd do what you would do. You would look at the guy and be like, alright, I guess. Like, bye. And just, like, walks away. But then as he's, like, walking away, he hears, like, one of the park attendants, like comes out of this building.
With, like, plushies.
With, like, a bunch of plushies, and he's, like, talking over the radio to another guy about, like, oh, yeah, like, we got a shit ton, like, don't worry about it. And so Gavin's like, oh, like, this is my opportunity. And he ends up going into...
Essentially looks like a locker room.
It looks like a locker room.
Like a break room for the actors or something. And where you think would be like a stash of plushies, there's not. Like he's trying to open lockers and do a bunch of stuff until he finds a locker full of plushies, but like this isn't a deep locker.
No.
It's like a metal.
It's like a school locker.
It's like the double like filing, not filing cabinet, but it's like the tall.
Oh yeah, I guess it was.
It's a tall locker with. You've seen them. It's a metal locker that has like the metal door handles, and you have to open one to get the lock undone. And
Your
you
school
open both.
teacher would have kept their supplies inside of that
and that's
cabinet.
What has plushies in it. And this guy who walked out originally had like one of those 3 feet like marshmallow or squishmallow things, and I was like, that wasn't in the locker.
The gas boy. He ends up like looking through just a couple of these.
And he like is comparing dolls because there's like a voodoo doll and a weird little bunny and like stereotypical Halloween
it's
plushes.
That hard of a choice.
He was trying really hard to get her one she likes. There's like 3.
How did he know which one specifically she would like? She doesn't enjoy being there. Why would she? What like? I would just be like, it's a fucking plushie.
It's a memento of their first date, is what he's thinking. You know what?
Honest, that's a good point. He could be thinking like, yeah, like 10 years from now, like, which plushie are we going to be holding together? Thinking like first date, like. I'll give him the benefit of that. Gavin's a sweet boy, so I'll give him that one.
He's definitely thinking this is going to be a long-term relationship and that she's going to love this thing and be like, we'll have it as a memento forever. And so I understand why he's doing it. As he's looking through the locker, the killer is standing right there.
Yeah.
And I kept bitching about this because this happens a few times. They're so high on adrenaline and they've been watched the entire time. You probably don't even clock someone watching you anymore because you felt it the entire night.
I guess that makes sense.
And that's the only rationalization I have for this.
But I think in Gavin's situation, I don't think that can be his scapegoat. Just because...
Or he's just an idiot.
I think if you're in a room like that all by yourself... And you're not supposed to be in there because, like, I mean, he's technically stealing from the park. And, like, if they catch him in there, like, they could just fucking kick him out. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
So I think at the very least...
For Gavin, it doesn't work.
Like, yeah, for Gavin, I don't think that works.
Okay.
But, you know what? At this point, a lot of the blood is not in his brain. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
He's thinking about Nat in the moment. And I'll give him that one. How about that?
And so when he closes the locker, finally, he, like, is face to face with the killer. He's like, oh, shit, man. Like, sorry, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you're off the clock. And he, like, has this weird banter of also being a dick to someone who should, quote unquote, be working here. He's like, you're off the clock. Like, what the fuck are you being? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're somewhere where you shouldn't be. Like, I would be so apologetic and be like,
oh my god,
sorry.
dude, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't tell anyone about this. Like, don't kick me out. Like,
I got $20. Like,
I won't take it. Or, or just be like, here, dude, like, I'll give you $20 for this.
Like, I'm just trying to get this for this girl I really like. Yeah. Like, I would be over-explaiking myself like crazy, and instead he
he's like, he's the fuck
dick.
are you doing? Like, yeah, he's like, the fuck's your problem, man?
Fucking hate him.
Well,
like, I don't hate him, but in this scene, like, I hate that, like, this is pretty accurate and people do act like this to people who are just minimum wage workers trying to do their job. Mm-hmm. Like, don't be a dick, man. Like, just because you're at a horror place doesn't give you the right to be an asshole. You never have the right to be the asshole, just about.
You elected to be scared. You can't be mad after being scared. You know what I mean? That was the whole thing with the fucking Stripe Girl. Yeah. It's like, you can't be mad for, like, getting jump scared when, like, you paid to enter this park.
Exactly. I think that maybe that's it. Like, he's such an asshole off the bat. And, like, if this was just a normal scare actor being like, I fucking found you, like, trying to spook him, like, there's no reason to be a dick about it. Yeah. Especially when you're in a place you shouldn't be.
Well, I mean, to preface now, wow, my brain is blanking on how he ends up on the floor.
So he tries to get out of the locker room and guy shoulder checks him again. Yeah. Because that's, like, homie's move is, like, he's immovable. He shoulder checked striped shirt girl. Mm-hmm. Like, he shoulder checks people or just stands there and doesn't move out of their way. And so he, like, turns around and the killer guy grabs the mallet.
Oh, yeah, he straight up fucking trips him.
No, he trips him and then he throat chops him with the end of the mallet.
Yeah, he takes the butt end of the mallet and, like, hits him in the fucking throat with it, which I hate throat stuff like that. Because, like, I don't know, when I see it, I just feel it immediately and I'm like... you know?
It's the acting of his face, too. He does such a good job of just, like, oh my god, I can't breathe, I just got fucking throat chopped. And so he's, like, backing away on his hands and knees, like, back, or I guess not hands and knees, like, backwards. So he's, like, on his back and his hands, like, trying to scoot away from this guy who has the giant mallet you used to, like, ring the bell on, like, the strongman thing. This is the mallet the guy has. Also, why is this here? This doesn't seem like a place where, like, extra attractions are held.
Yeah.
But whatever, I guess, like, it's a break room. I could see someone being like, it's my break time. I'm gonna just leave it here. I'll deal with it later.
Let me just put my mallet over here.
My mallet and the thing is there. Because he backs up and leans his hand on it. And Killer smashes his head and rings the bell with the strongman mallet.
Smashes Gavin's head in with the mallet.
Which is a really cool practical effect.
Yes, it was good.
They did, like, they made a mold of his face and, like, did the jelly eyes and everything and, like, filled it with blood. And the actor who plays Gavin, it was really hard because everyone was like, let's kill him. And he's like, and that's me? And so it was really hard for everyone to be so excited for me to die when I'm, like, looking at myself about to die.
Oh, that's so funny.
But the practical effects in this are really, really good. Like, that is one thing I will give it. Like, the way they formed the head and did all that kind of stuff, like, it looks so good.
I think they did a great job. There's our first death among all the friends. And while it doesn't cut away yet, the killer ends up...
Nat texts
Gavin being like, where are you?
We're at the head of the line. They're signing waivers to get into Deadlands because, again, you can get touched. You have to sign a waiver saying you're okay with it.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, we're at the head of the line, all this kind of stuff. And the killer...
He grabs Gavin's phone and, like, unlocks it with his thumb and texts Nat back and is like, I have a surprise for you.
Yep. This is why I don't have biometrics on my phone. You have to use my keypad numbers to get in. I don't have a thumbprint. I don't do Face ID. I do nothing.
Hell yeah.
But I also, like, he keeps the phone on him. This is a new plot point. He keeps the phone on him. Does he never lock it? Because to change the keypad or add a fingerprint or do any of that kind of stuff on my phone, you have to do the thumbprint again. So did he stay there and use Gavin's thumbprint again to change the ID?
Let me just, change the password.
Because otherwise he could never lock it again.
That's fair. You know what? We'll discuss that more once we approach.
Just keep that in mind.
Why? Yeah. Well, he's got Gavin's phone at this point. They end up getting on the rides. Well, Taylor and Asher end up getting into a car together. Nat has to get in one by herself.
And she tries to convince Brooke and Quinn not to go, but they lose your spot. If you don't get in the ride right then, you have to get back in line at the start of the line. Like, you can't opt out. And so she doesn't want to go alone. She's the only one going alone. And they're like, come on, like, he's fine. And then this is where Quinn is like, dude, he's trying to win you a stuffy. Just give him a second. He sucks. Yeah. Like, he'll meet us in there, I promise. And she doesn't want to, like, ruin the surprise. So she gets in. And then we get this montage of all the couples making out on this little ride and getting scared. And then her being terrified by herself.
They treated it like the tunnel of love, but...
scary version.
But, like, I just don't get that. Like, you're there for the ride, aren't you?
No, they're there to get laid. Like, this is the classic take your girl to go get scared so she will cuddle you type situation.
That's true, because the entire, like, earlier in the night, Taylor's talking about how when you're afraid or whatever, it, like...
fear is an aphrodisiac.
Yes. Yeah.
And so literally they put that in there, and it is a whole thing where, like, all the couples are making out and doing that kind of stuff. And this isn't my jam, where I like to make out with my wife. Don't know about you. Obviously, I don't think your wife would like this situation at all. No. So it's not our thing, but I do know couples that are like that at any situation they can. And we're talking, like, 21, 22-year-old college students. Yeah. They're always thinking with their dicks.
No,
like...
that's... Yeah, no, I mean, it's fair. Like, I get it. I'm just like... You're missing the ride, man.
That's my thing, too, is, like, I would want to watch the ride so bad to be like, what's going to happen? It
just makes me fucking old, I feel like. Like, pay attention to the attraction that you've come to see. Don't be macking each other's lips.
We're kind of getting cuts, like, they're all going in at the same time. Obviously, we already said Asher and Taylor were first, and so... But how it all works... Nat is last, and then the red light goes off like the ride shut down. And have you ever had a ride break on you before?
Yes, I'm actually... So, we were in Universal Studios.
Oh, no.
And we were on Escape from Gringotts, the Harry Potter ride, which... If any of the listeners have been on that ride, you understand that when you're, like, in the middle of the caves in Gringotts... you could very well be upside down.
Oh, no.
I couldn't remember if we were like facing like straight down or we were like, we stopped and we were like almost sideways. And you know how my wife hates that shit. Like she has a problem with rides at first.
Yeah.
And it stopped for a second and she was like, oh my God. Like I'm gonna freaking lose my fucking mind. And I had to be like, babe, it's okay. They'll get it back up and running. But like, it is fucking freaky when they just shut it off and you're just stuck, like strapped into whatever. To be fair, in Natalie's instance, she's not necessarily like super strapped in.
Yeah, it's a bar where if she really, like, if she wasn't freaking out, I think she'd be able to escape.
She's also like on the ground floor. Like you could just stand up and get out of it.
It's just like how the bar is. It's a lap bar, obviously, and it's got a little give or take. And she's a small girl. She's a very petite girl. And so if she wanted to, she could have probably, like, leaned back and, like, swiveled her legs. But she's terrified. She doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
So obviously she's not thinking about that. She's, like, slamming the bar. And then
because you literally... The fucking murderer comes in and, like...
Is
watching her. And she's like, oh, my God. Like, she's freaking out. She starts screaming for help.
She starts screaming for security.
Because he, like, starts walking up towards her.
And then we get a cut to the four outside. And they're like, oh, my God, did you hear that? That's Nat. And I think it's Asher or Taylor who's like... She's just freaking out, like, she's been freaking out all night, and then Brooke's like, no, like, that's a real scream, and then the ride kicks up again, and you get the back of the quote-unquote killer just kneeling on the ride, and you look around, and there's, like, 10 people dressed exactly how the killer's dressed. It's because, like, my biggest gripe at first was, like, he's the lowest budget person here. Like, they'd pick him out in a moment, but he is dressed like one of the characters in the Deadlands.
So that's when you realize, like, oh, he's not the only one dressed like this. Like, there's a bunch of them. And then, like, that's where you also realize, like, I don't think it was the killer that was sitting on the cart.
It wasn't, no. It was one of the actors, and I think it's Asher who explains... Oh, they fake a breakdown, and then one of the solo riders gets a weird...
Yeah, they do it for the bit, for a solo rider, and it just so happened to be Natalie.
Yeah.
So, like, there is that coincidence, and it's just like, holy fuck. Like, okay, that's where I was like, all right, now this is a little bit freaky, because now there's however many other people that look exactly like that, like...
And the whole reason I don't think it was the killer is because I don't think he could have gotten from where he was with... killing Gavin, to that part in the ride fast enough.
Yeah.
Is the only reason I don't think it was the killer. Because originally I thought it was, and I was like, damn, is homie, like, booking it to get across from, like, the carnival rides to the opposite side of where the Deadlands were?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I don't think it was the killer. But could you imagine, like, if you were on a ride like this and they faked a breakdown to freak you out? I would perish. I don't know what I'd add.
I think I'd just be upset. I think I would just get off that ride and be like, I am, like, you guys are all mean people, and I don't like you, and I want that to be known.
I have the solace of knowing I would force my wife to go with me. I would never be a solo rider. Are you kidding me? Not happening.
Yeah, see, the problem is my wife wouldn't even step foot in that park, so I would be the solo rider.
We would just bring our other friends, because other Liz would do it with you, and I don't know if Ariana would.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't think any of us would go into the Deadlands.
I could see Liz doing it. Other Liz.
Yeah, but Liz, you're crazy.
She's crazy, but I could see her going in there, and I don't know if...
Like, yeah, if they touch me, I'll just touch them back.
Yeah, right? That's exactly what she would do.
That's so funny. Well, so at this point, you're like, holy shit, like, they're in the Deadlands. It's... You're assuming it's, like, about to ramp up at this point.
Yeah. And they see a sign with maps. And it's a dead body with its stomach all open, and you gotta reach your hand in, and they make Asher do it. And Asher gets, like, shoulder deep. Yeah. And then it turns out the guy isn't dead. He's, like, his upper torso is there, and he just scares the shit out of Asher. And it does help, like, this is new territory.
And then a random, like, big-ass dude runs up and just picks up Taylor and runs away, and she's like screaming. She's like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
And they're all like, we know, like, the rest of the party is just like, oh, I thought they could touch us. I didn't, like, taking someone away from their party is really terrible. And so Asher starts booking it after her, and they get to a point, and she's like, yeah, thanks, and they set her back down, and they barely get a second to breathe before
she's like,
a bunch
that dude smells like hobo feet, and they're like, what? Or was it hobo feet or something like that?
It was like, yeah.
And they're like, why do you know what that smells like?
Oh, a hobo's asshole.
Oh, yeah. And they're like, why do you know what a hobo's asshole smells like?
And so they barely have a second to breathe by the time they get Taylor back, when burlap sack children, so they have burlap sacks over their head, grab all of their hands. They're like, I guess we're doing this now. Yeah. And they lead them to the...
through the fog over to the nightmare.
Opening ceremony.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
they have like a whole opening ceremony with our lovely cameo from the one and only Candyman.
Oh, I didn't watch Candyman.
You've never seen Candyman?
No.
Oh, so I love him. I only know him from Candyman. He's probably in other things, but I love him as an actor.
I think that's a little farther ahead, because first, don't they go through the nightmare rooms? There's like the 3 rooms that they choose, and the 2 boys, they choose the scariest one. Yes, because that's where the 2 boys get separated.
Oh, you're correct. So
the children usher them through the fog.
They lead them to the first trial. That's correct.
To the first trial, which is the
nightmare room. It's 3 different haunted houses in one, and you get to choose your own adventure style.
Yeah, it's like not scared or like sleep fine. The next one's like...
I don't remember what they were called.
Kind of scary. Yeah, 3 tiers of scary. The 2 boys choose the scariest one, and then the ladies choose the least scary one.
Yeah, and the boys all get all 2 of them. They get handed flashlights, and then...
Which, I gotta say, the very funny line to me, because they go through, and both of the boys, and this person in a cloak, hands them flashlights. And I can't remember which one of them says it, but one of them goes, flashlights, dude? This is the best haunted house ever. And I'm like, is that what makes or breaks a haunted house for you? Is a flashlight? I thought that was so funny.
I didn't even catch
that. That is a really... I think he was like, dude, the ladies are missing out. This is the best haunted house ever.
Yeah, there's no way their haunted house is better than ours.
Yeah, and I'm like... Why? Because you get a fucking flashlight? Good on you, bud.
So this is where the doctor thing you were talking about earlier comes in. So the boys get, the OD room. They get the doctor, they get a chick who's OD'd.
Well, the girls get the doctor, the boys get the chick that's OD'd on the bed.
Correct. So they Asher tries to reach because it's a shot, because obviously she's surrounded by needles, and there's a singular shot of alcohol shot, and he tries to reach down and grab it, and girl obviously is alive and grabs him. He's like, oh shit. Yeah. And Gavin laughs at him, and they realize that their lights are all, black lights, and so it shows them some hidden detail and that kind of stuff, and their haunted house is really cool. Yeah. And so
agreed.
It kind of cuts back
because they the boys go into the next room, and then their flashlights cut off. Yep. And then a fucking train turns on behind them. And they're like, what the fuck? And it starts moving towards them. That right there is when I was like, if this is a moving festival, how the fuck do you transport a giant train on a track for something like that?
It would be difficult to make sure that all the parts keep working, but I think it is possible. I mean, they transport freaking not merry-go-rounds, the big guys. What are they called?
I get it. It's just at that point I was just like, damn, there is so much that they would be moving around with Hellfest. That seems like a fucking chore.
Yeah, because to break even is the problem, in my opinion. To break even from all of the moving the gear and doing all that kind of stuff is where I think they lose me on this being a traveling thing. Yeah. But as the train's going, Asher books it first. Yeah. And he goes through the first exit. There are 2. And Gavin goes through the second one.
Yeah. So the boys get split up. Eventually, Asher ends up going into this, it's a dark-ass room. There's, a bunch of, dead bodies hanging around or whatever. It's, it's really dark. But he's, actually freaked out.
Yes. He loses his, bro cool now that he's alone.
Yeah. He now that he's alone, he's like, okay, this shit sucks. And he's actually starting to get scared.
Oh, yeah. So, sorry, I was looking for my notes for what it is. It's like a torture chamber. It's like a classic, medieval, torture chamber. You get the screaming, you get people hanging up, that kind of thing. It's the cross between, a torture chamber medievally and, what you would expect hell to be, where it's just, bodies and gargoyles and a bunch of stuff, piled up.
Yeah, just like creepy shit.
And we get a flash. We kind of cut back and forth, obviously, between the girls, but we'll cover the girls all in one chunk. So you cover the boys, the girls, and then the killer. And the killer's going through some props on a table, and he finds a real goddamn needle. You fucking kidding me?
Yeah. No, he finds a real ass needle. Why you can't have that type of prop like that?
No,
you can't have a real needle as a prop.
You can't do it.
Of all the things, like a knife isn't as bad in my opinion as having
its
an
utility.
actual yes.
Yeah,
but like
a needle in an OD room, also, right? Like, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you see the killer pick up the needle. Asher's freaking out down by himself. The killer finds Asher first.
Yes.
And so he knocks him down, grabs him by the throat, and fucking shoots his eye with a needle. And there is liquid in there. According to the director, it was like a vodka needle. And I was like, then it definitely wasn't a real needle if this was a vodka shot. And so he gets shot in the eye with the vodka, and you see it just like bulge out, and then dude slams the needle through Asher's like eyeball into the back of his skull, killing him.
Yeah. It was rough because they drag it out.
They do.
It's not a quick one.
He's screaming for a lot of it.
You see the struggle happen for like he's on the ground and the needle is being pushed towards his eye for like a solid 30 seconds. It's a slow burn. I had trouble, like at a certain point I was like, okay, I know what's going to happen. Just get it over with. Cause like I'm not squeamish, but
yeah, it's rough. And I, again, watched the behind the scenes of this, and they used, so they made one mask or one like mold for Asher, and they had to test the jelly eyes because they're jelly eyes. So they had to make another like faker or not so nice mask that they tested the eyes in, and like just watching, like they showed a few trials of them like sticking the needle in the eye and it bulging out and doing that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I love practical effects. They need to be used more. When we cover the first Resident Evil movie, oh my god, dude, the practical effects in that movie are phenomenal.
That's gonna be legit. That's gonna be a good episode.
So, that's the boys. Gavin eventually gets out by himself.
Quinn. Not Quinn.
Yes, you're correct. Boys.
Yes, Quinn.
Quinn
Yeah.
Quinn gets out by
Gavin
himself.
Is dead as
Gavin's
fuck
dead.
right now.
Asher's dead. We've got Quinn left. Quinn gets out by himself, and then we'll cut over to the girls. Again, these scenes are kind of cutting back and forth, so you're not just watching one person.
It's like the girls having fun, sort of.
So the girls get put into, like... by the way, I can smell this scene. They get like put into like a fog machine room with like lights all over the ceiling. I have worked a lot with fog machines, and I was like, I would struggle to breathe in that room, and they hang out in there for a second. They're messing with the lights, and Brooke's hand gets grabbed, and like it's a really like they're having a good time in a haunted house.
Yeah, this is where they eventually all get to where they have like the stage set up, and then like. It's Nat and Brooke and... After
they get through the haunted thing.
Yeah, after they get through the haunted maze.
No one else dies, so they just go through the haunted maze. They get separated and have your fun little montage. Everyone gets out, and then someone asks where Asher is. And they're like, oh, he must have not got out yet. And then they go to they just kind of leave it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he'll find us when he's done. Like... Monster from the Black Lagoon shows up. Much. Like, a green monster shows up and vomits all over Nat. And so Brooke takes her to the bathroom to kind of go like wash off and clean up. And we get a little bit more character dynamic where Nat's like, let's go to Spain. And Brooke's like, are you kidding me? And you kind of have this back and forth where apparently they've been wanting to like go travel and do stuff together, and Natalie keeps backing out. And so like she says this and Brooke is stoked. She's like, oh my god, once we get out of here, we're going to Spain.
Yeah,
and
Brooke
she
gets excited as if they already booked the trip. And I'm like you talked about it for 30 seconds in a bathroom at Hellfest, and you're acting like you're going next month.
Girls work in mysterious ways, man. If your flaky girlfriend is like,
finally, like,
bitch, we're going.
You know what? That's fair.
She's on top of it.
I know exactly what that feeling is like. So I get that.
I super understand. Like, obviously there's logistics and stuff, but Brooke is like, she brought it up. She wants to do it. Yeah. Obviously, like, she'll make it happen because she's down. And that's the vibes I got. But like, I definitely do get it, where it's just like, bitch, you're still, it's Halloween. Hold on. She's talking about going next summer. Like,
you know, Brooke ends up leaving the bathroom, and Nat stays behind to like finish cleaning her hair.
under the hand dryer and that kind of stuff. And the placement of the hand dryer is really weird.
Yeah,
but then
like,
it is like, if they're vomiting on people, obviously they know people are going to like dry their clothes and do that kind of stuff. So 100%. It is very much set up for that.
There's a fucking hand dryer like way up towards the ceiling
where
above
she has
a mirror.
To, like, jump almost to hit the button. And this is where my point earlier comes in, where she is so high off of adrenaline and being watched the entire time. She does not notice the killer staring at her this time.
Yes, because she's sitting there drying her hair and like she closes her eyes and like puts her head under the thing, and then the killer just like walks in and stands next to her and then like reaches his hand up to like go touch her and then like backs away.
It's so creepy. It's
but
like
it's
the
one
almost
of those...
touch where he's like kind of caressing her face but in the air.
Yeah.
And it's hate it.
I do think, like you said, with this situation, the adrenaline going, all that, like I think at that point you'd just be oblivious to like, it's just so many fucking eyes on me all the time, and especially in the Deadlands where like people are touching you and shit. Like you're so overstimulated at that point to where like
this is probably
just
like
things just fucking happen and you're like, okay, like I don't care.
And she's probably having that moment of reprieve where she's not even clocking anything weird because it's the bathrooms. Yeah. And bathrooms are definitely safe.
Yes.
And so she's probably just like, whatever, even if she does have an inkling of being watched, she probably just thinks it's residual from being out in the Badlands. Yeah. And so like, no hate on her. Poor girl, man. Like the highs and lows she has been feeling this entire time. And so then she goes in to actually use the restroom. And she texts Gavin, and here's a text tone in the bathroom with her. Yeah.
Like, she sends the text, and then hears a text tone after she sends it. But it doesn't, like, clock to her.
She catches it a little bit and thinks it, like, you see it on her face where it's, like, a little weird, but she's like, whatever. And she gets a message from Gavin, and she's like, oh, he's, like, gonna be on his way soon. I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. And then she texts him again, and it happens again, and she's like, that's fucking weird. And that's where she really clocks it.
Yeah, and then... she doesn't even get out of the stall before...
the steel-toed boots appear under her door.
The steel-toed boots appear under the door, and the door starts shaking like crazy. And so she panics, and she goes under the side of...
She slides under that stall so gracefully. Yeah. Could not be me. Oh, like, girl is just like, whoosh, like superhero style, slides under there. Did you notice the stall door was already locked?
Yes, I did notice that. Like, I was like... how convenient for her.
Yeah, it's not an open stall, it's locked for her. There's this little scene where like the killer like reaches over the stall and like grabs her head, and the director says that is a moment where he didn't tell the actress playing Natalie what exactly was going to happen, and so her reaction to like getting grabbed, pretty good. That's great. They find security.
They end up getting security.
And security's like, I get calls like this every night. Did he hurt you? Did anything happen? Who was it? Like, you've just told me 15 people who work here. Like, he's not wrong, but he's obviously not taking them seriously. But he's also right. Like, he probably gets calls like this all of the time. Like, obviously he's not taking it seriously. And then they find the photo booth strip, and she's like, he was definitely here. The security guard is obviously a dick. But how many calls has he already dealt with that night of someone getting freaked out and calling security when it's just an actor? Yeah. Like, I get it and I don't at the same time, because as a viewer, you know it's real. But, like, as putting yourself in the security guard shoes, you're like, yeah, bro, like, you're also minimum wage working here. Like, I get it.
Yeah, being a security guard at one of those just seems like a very, very difficult position to be in.
Yeah, I get it. Like... so I can't be mad at him, but also, like, it feels...
just, like, fuck you, dude. Like, just, I don't know, inquire a little bit. Like, don't just shut it down. Like, I don't know, sniff around a tiny bit.
But he says, like, there wasn't an actionable charge. Like, he says, yes, the bathroom should be off limits, but you're not hurt. No one was taking photos of you. There's like nothing that he could do, even if he knew what scare actor it was. Yeah. There's literally no actionable charge, and that's how he states it.
Yeah, that's true.
So they leave the bathroom, and this is where they go to the stage. And, Quinn is there drinking, and they're like, oh, where's Taylor? And he's like, she volunteered. And this is where our lovely Candyman comes in, and he is a witch doctor and is doing the whole, like, to open hell, we must need a sacrifice, blah, blah, blah. It, like, does a whole presentation, and they're like, a virgin. And Taylor walks out, and she's like, about that virgin thing. It was just, like, totally riffing. And so they're about to do a beheading, and Nat is freaking out, and she's like, something's wrong, something's wrong. They strap Taylor down in a guillotine, and...
the person who's, like, the...
executioner.
Executioner has the same mask as the killer.
No, he has steel-toe boots. He has the executioner mask on.
Oh,
right
that's
now.
right. No, but yeah, that's right. So it's the executioner has the steel-toed boots. So that's why Natalie's like freaking out. She's like, "Oh my god, like this is actually like
this is really bad."
Yeah.
And she like runs over, and then security's actually there to keep anyone from going on stage, and you get this like whole slow-mo thing of her like freaking out trying to break through security, and then Taylor being like, "Ah, yes, the beheading, blah blah blah," and she gets beheaded, and it's not actually her head, and they have the whole nice thing, curtains close, and she looks over at the executioner, is like, "Hey, like, you want to help me?" Or the security is like, "Do you have her?" And the executioner just like nods, doesn't say anything, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this was fun, blah blah blah. Like, can you help me out of this?"
because she's locked in the guillotine.
Yeah, she's like
thing.
strapped down, and she's like in the only word I know is like stockades. Like she's got her wrist in the like guillotine part, and she's got a strap around her waist, and she's like talking to the executioner, and he's not doing anything, and she's getting. This is where like she's getting rightfully mad of like, "Yo, bro, like, get me the fuck out of here. Like, I'm strapped down. Like, let me get back to my friends." And she's like, "Oh, sorry." Like, she does apologize. She's like, "Sorry about the crazy chick yelling. Like, that's one of my friends." Like, she's trying to be nice, but, like, homie's not releasing her. And then he does, and then slides her back in, because obviously they slid her back to, like, do the fake head thing.
Yeah.
And then you realize, yep, it's the killer.
Yeah, and this is... it was a rough one, because... of course, he does what you think he does. He lets the guillotine go, and it hits Taylor's neck, but it doesn't go through.
Because it's not
a sharp or heavy...
It's heavy enough to leave a mark, but it's like a gash, right? Like she's bleeding, but it's not
like
heavy.
It hits like maybe half an inch into her neck
at most, and so she's like, "What the fuck?" And
but
she's
that's like
freaking
decent
out.
enough. Like if you got hit in the back of the head like that, like
the back of the neck, yeah,
back of the neck, you'd be like.
And she seems a bit dazed, and like then the guillotine gets jammed. The rope mechanism gets jammed, gives her enough time to like break free, and she runs away, and the killer's there, and they like go up to security, and security finally fucking believes them as they're trying to escort everyone off, and like the same security guard is like, "No, we're gonna have to call the cops on you, blah blah blah," and she's like, "Good, that's what I wanted you guys to do from the start." And Taylor's running, and then there's the killer with the knife, and... The killer,
as Taylor's, like, running through crowds, obviously, like, people are helping her because they think it's part of the show.
The same way Natalie did, like, earlier, right?
And then the killer, like, walks up to her, and then just fucking stabs her.
Yeah, she gets...
Just, like, straight up stabbed in the stomach. Like, Taylor is just... You're like, oh, okay, so, like, there was... The neck thing was just a fluke. She's just... Yeah, and then Quinn comes up behind and, like, and is like, what the fuck? And he gets stabbed in the stomach, and you're like, oh, okay, holy shit.
Yeah, you get 2 kills for the price of 1, and now they're actually trying to shut down the park, and everyone's mass panicking because they just saw 2 people get murdered, thinking it was fake, and it's not. And so the cops are on scene, everyone's flooding everything. The girls run.
They're running away from the killer because they see him.
Oh, they make eye contact.
Yeah, they make eye contact.
And they book it.
Yeah, because Natalie knows, like, oh, this dude's been after me all fucking night.
And they end up running into hell.
The
scariest.
The scariest and final maze, which, I gotta say, that maze was very lackluster to be the final maze.
But to be fair, all of the actors and everyone just got dipped out.
What I don't even think, I think the set, even. I think it, like,
That's
it
fair.
looked small and, like...
I think it was supposed to be because so many people can touch, like you're allowed to be touched in here. I think it was supposed to be a lot more like actors in there.
Yeah, that
and
makes
like
sense.
I could definitely see them like picking you up and breaking up parties and like chasing you in there versus like I don't think you're really supposed to pay attention to the set so much in that one.
That's fair.
Because of the ability to touch.
That's fair.
And so they run into hell and he finds an axe. That's real.
He finds a real ass axe.
Like one of those like fireman axes?
Stuck in the chest of a dummy. And I'm like, my thought was, all right, you set up all this prop stuff, you get the dummy, you dress the dummy up with all this prop stuff, and then you hit it with a real axe? What the fuck?
I have no words. It's not great. Like, again, and then, so you're like, okay, all of the props in here are real. And it comes back to bite everyone in the ass in like 5 seconds. They hide in a closet. The killer guy, like, also real door. There's a real door on this maze, which is wild to me. That he is able to shut the door, breaks the handle off, you can't open the door. It's one of those, like,
big
like
rolling...
like half oval on... Like,
almost
half
like a barn door, but...
it's not like the sliding though. It's like, think of like an old like tavern door,
Yeah.
like those kinds of things where it's a heavy metal door, or not metal door, a heavy wooden door, and then like it has like, it's not a real handle. It's like one of those not
it's
like a cabinet one where it's just like it's not a real.
Where like if you knock out the handle, you can't fucking open it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So he blocks them in, and as they're running, they're starting to set off things, and Nat is actually a really smart final girl in this situation where she's like clocking that there are motion sensors, and she finds them a like closet to hide in. And also, on a side note, because I have done a lot of haunted houses, there's a lot of areas to escape that are fire exits. Because it is, again, OSHA violation, fire marshal violation.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have other exits than just the one.
Yeah.
And they are either not smart enough to look for them, or they did a really good job of hiding them nicely.
Yeah, I think, like, as far as the girls go, because they like, hide in a closet, and they're trying to outsmart the killer, basically. So, like, they hide in a closet halfway through, and they're, like, essentially waiting to hear, like, the motion sensor go off to, like, hear him walk past.
Right.
Because their thought is, like, oh, yeah, we'll wait for him to walk past, and then we'll go back out the way we came. So, like, which is, like, a smart idea, right? Like, in theory, go out the way you came and, like, have him keep going the opposite direction.
It was super smart.
That makes sense, but
he broke the door.
They get to the door, and of course Brooke just like she just fucking loses it at that point.
She's
which
just
I
banging
would
on
too.
the door,
She's like, "Let us out!" And Natalie's like, "Dude, shut the fuck up!" Like he's literally in here.
He's still in here, and it makes sense. Their reactions make sense. I don't know why Natalie all of a sudden is like, "Bitch, I got you,"
Yeah,
but she's
Brooke lost the lady balls, and Nat got all the lady balls.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna protect my best friend at all fucking costs at this point, and she is locked in.
Yeah.
And so now they have to backtrack their backtrack.
Yeah.
And go through the maze, and as they're going through, they hit the closet again, and they're like, we definitely left that open. That's fucking great. And so they like walk over all of the motion sensors again, and they get into a room, and they're like, oh, look at all of these weapons. And they touch all of them, and they're like, they're all fake. What the fuck? You're telling me every single one of those weapons in the torture room is fake, but the axe at the beginning was real?
And the needle?
And the needle?
And the, yeah.
What has decided to be real and what has decided to be fake is beyond me. Again, what the fuck, prop master? In movie, not outside of movie. What the hell is happening?
I don't know.
So they are moving from room to room.
Very slowly, very cautiously.
Too cautiously, in my opinion, because like when Brooke stops and she does like the highest knee ever, very slowly to get over. You can see the motion sensor because of the smoke.
Yeah,
like it is. You could have done like 6 inches, like a normal step, just a little careful so your toe doesn't hit it, and like would have been fine. But she does the highest knee ever at the slowest pace to get over all of these motion sensor things. Like, to be fair, like, good on you for being careful, but also, like, you have a murderer chasing after you, have a little bit of agency, a little bit of pep in your step, please.
Yeah.
They get to the doll room.
Yes, they get to the doll room. There's, like, a bunch of, like, it looks like the children from earlier with, like, the bags on their heads, but instead of bags, all the mannequins and stuff have, like, white veils over their faces.
Yeah, it's, like, it looks super weird, because
it's
like,
creepy.
Like, it's taped over your forehead.
Yeah.
And it's just blocking your face.
It's not, like, a full head, veil or like hood. It's literally just like imagine if somebody stapled a napkin to your forehead.
Yeah, it's
but like a doily to your forehead, like a square doily.
Yeah, it's just enough to cover your like eyes and mouth, and then there's like some creepy dialogue going over of like you shall not be seen or don't look at the children or something like that. Yeah. And it's like all of these kids and people with those weird things over their faces surrounding a dinner table. And so you have to like walk around the dinner table, and then the killer is hiding behind a bunch of the mannequins and pops out and slashes Brooke's
leg back of the thigh.
Yeah, her like quad with it.
Yeah.
And
with the axe. Not even a deep cut either.
No,
honestly,
like, she has some pretty good reflexes here.
Of all the horror gashes to like, you know, injuries to catch like that, she got off pretty easy.
Yeah, like her reflexes were really good there. If she didn't react as fast, I think he would have gotten like her whole ass like tendon. And,
he would have gotten like half of her fucking thigh.
Yeah,
like
and then
100%.
She wouldn't have been able to move at all.
No, but Also, lightning fucking reflexes from Nat, because as soon as that happens, she whips around and smacks the fuck out of him, dude.
They found, like, one hammer and, like, a torch, like, one of those, like, wooden torches that were, like, hefty enough, and she bashes that guy in with that little,
dude,
like, close combat range.
Fucking smacks him, and she's like, she tells Brooke to book it, and Nat just continues to beat the shit out of him. Which, thank God, because how many of these movies do you watch? And they don't do that, and you're like, why don't you just grab what's available and beat the fuck out of him?
Yeah, and so she gets him down to a point where she's comfortable to also book it after Brooke. Book it after Brooke.
Yes, but so because these are fucking mazes, Brooke ends up going one way, and Nat ends up choosing the other. The killer ends up coming after
Brooke, isn't it?
No,
it's after Nat.
He goes up. Brooke, I think, just gets out of the maze.
No, she doesn't. Because the final room is that full mask room where you have to find the secret exit. Oh,
yes. Yeah.
So he ends up, all I have next is they hid in the weird mask room.
Yeah. So that's right. So they both, I'm trying to remember how they, like...
They get separated because as we've seen in the other mazes, they have multiple. It's weird that they're mazes, also they're haunted houses. But they have multiple ways. They get split up, and the killer goes after Nat, and so then you're like, oh, Brooke's gonna be our final girl, and Brooke books it to the end of the room where there's no exit. Nat beats on the killer a little bit more. He gets knocked down to the ground. Am I getting something mixed up? This whole chunk is really weird in my head right now.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking the same way, because, like...
So, my notes exactly say they hid in the weird masked room. He knows they didn't leave because he finds the secret door that triggers, you have found the exit to hell, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so he knows they didn't leave. He swings an axe, and it gets stuck, and then Nat starts beating the shit out of him.
He swings it at, like, a mannequin, thinking that it's...
one of them.
One of them, and it gets stuck in it, and so she takes the opportunity...
Oh, this is where they get split up. That's why we were getting them confused.
Okay.
So they get to the room. They're hiding. It's a room full of just white-faced, masked mannequins all staring around in, like, black hoods. They hide amongst the things. The axe thing happens, blah, blah, blah. Nat knocks him out again because good for her and her reflexes of just punching this guy whenever she can. They book it backwards because he closes the door for outside. And so they book it backwards. Brooke chooses a path. She chooses the path, and the killer finds Brooke first. Nat, so that's the thing. So Nat stays in the room with the killer, right? And Brooke leaves. And he, like, punches Nat or does something with Nat, and you think she dies. Because then he leaves to go take care of Brooke and didn't finish off Natalie.
That's right.
And why? Because we needed two final girls, question mark?
That's right.
She had plot armor. Yes. That's all I got.
So he does go after Brooke, and then, like, Brooke's, like, at the end of this, like, hallway.
That seems like a dead end or something.
Yeah, but it's got, like, a bunch of jump scares on either side of just, like, once you trigger the thing, a fucking ghoul pops out on, like, one side. The killer's, like, walking towards Brooke, like, walking up to her, ready to kill her. And then, like, as one of the jump scares happens, Natalie pops out from behind it.
With a knife.
And jumps out and fucking stabs him.
Yep.
And he falls to the ground. And the girls actually, like, run out.
And they find the emergency exit. They get out. There's a bunch of cops pointing their guns at them, like, and they realize they're victims, and blah, 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 and they tell them, like, they storm the rest of the maze, and they get the girls to safety, and they can't find him.
Yeah, you follow the cops, and they get into the hallway, and, like, they keep running through, and then it pans down to the floor, and there's just blood on the floor.
And they pass it because, like, obviously looks like an attraction, whatever, and then you have a faceless cop come up and be like, hey, we're looking for him, but we can't find him. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, he was there, and they're like, we'll keep looking, but we don't know what to tell you. So we get two final girls in this. We get Brooke and Taylor.
We also watch...
Natalie.
We watch the cops or the security tackle one of the workers at the park that has that same killer's mask.
Yep.
Because they think it's him, but, like, they pull the mask off. It's just a fucking teenager.
Well, and they pan down to his shoes, and he's got, like, red Nikes on or something.
Yeah, he doesn't have the steel-toed boots. You're like, oh, it's not him.
And so then you kind of get this, like, weird bittersweet feeling until you follow the POV of the killer. Driving home, he gets to his garage, opens this padlocked, like, wooden, like, curio cabinet where he has 6 other masks and some, like, trophies. He has, like, a pair of glasses and, like, a necklace, and he sets the photo booth thing in there and locks it back up. And he walks into the house, and there's a little girl sleeping on the couch, and he's just, like, creepily watching her. until she wakes up, and then she screams, "Daddy," because that's her dad. And she's like, "Daddy, did you get me anything?" And he shows her, like, the little doll that I think he stole off of...
Gavin.
Was it Gavin?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, you're like, oh, cool, so this guy's just a dad. You don't see his face still. Like, again, you only see the back of his head, but, like, he's just a dude.
He's just a dude. And it was debated even amongst, like, director, writer, and cast on whether or not he only kills on Halloween or not.
Interesting.
Yeah, if, like, that's his one day he gives himself to, like, have a release and murder. I think it was the director's intent to have it that way, but, like, I guess the cast talked amongst themselves on whether or not, like, he's a normal guy the rest of the year, or if he's just that good at hiding, or, like, that kind of stuff.
If it's the whole, like, oh yeah, he's just normal the rest of the year, I hate that, because how many serial killers have I walked past in my lifetime, you know, type shit.
I mean, a lot.
I know, and that's what scares me, because, like...
Especially, we live in a big city now.
Yeah, dude, but, you know, and people ask me why I never want to leave the house. I don't want to die.
I want to die, especially when there's gunshots all the time. We get to play the fun game of, is it fireworks or gunshots?
Yeah, I don't want to do this.
But, yeah, so that's Hellfest.
Hellfest.
It's nothing. I rate it like a solid middle of the road. Like, again, the practical effects are really good. I enjoy the acting. It's a little awkward, but they play, like, it's meant to be awkward between Gavin and Nat. Like, they play the awkwardness really well.
It's not scary.
No, you can predict everything that happens. It's, again, one of those movies you can throw on in the background and, like, do your laundry or cook dinner and just...
And not worry about your partner who doesn't like horror movies seeing any of it, because they would also just be like, oh... whatever.
Yeah, I think the like, only thing would be like a little squeamish with some of the practicals.
Yeah, if your partner or anyone doesn't like gore,
it's gore light, but like the blood and effects that when something does happen is quite a bit.
It's heavy, but it's quick when it happens.
Yes.
It's not like long-winded where you're like sitting there absorbing all of the gore. It's just like
repeated smashes.
You understand the extent of it, but it's not like shoved down your throat.
Yeah. I recommend if you want something fun. If you're looking for like a next top tier movie, don't watch it. You probably won't like it. A lot of Redditors didn't like it. Again, they said it was like the Kroger version of Haunt or Bloodfest, and then it was debated on which one of those was better.
You watch it to like dream about going to a park like that. If
or
you
like amp yourself up.
Stuff. Yes.
It's like a good amp yourself up to go to a fun attraction like this.
If you're going to go to an attraction like that, watch this movie first and you'll be like, oh, like
I'm amped.
I'm going to be paranoid as fuck the whole time. Yeah. This will be great.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Follow our Instagram and threads at No Cell Service Pod. Until next time.